Right, welcome back to the channel. Right, the dreaded over the top movement. If that is you, this video may help you. Now, the reason for this video today is not talk about specific reasons that you could be coming over the top. And I would start by saying that is the most important thing for everyone. Educate yourself on why typically your reaction of an action is to come over the top. So it could be something as easy as getting the face too open going back, and then the subconscious reaction to that is to shift the swing direction out and left because the face is pointing so far to the right. It could be a sequencing issue like a lack of rotation or a lack of depth in the backswing, and then an early rotation or too much spinning in the downswing. It could be a number of reasons. I'm not going to get into that today, but what I'm going to show you are three things that I do quite easily that you will have access to. You'll see them in my videos, things that I think could give you measurable feedback instantly. Now, for me, when I'm coaching, I'm a big fan of physical barriers, things that are in the way, because one, if you hit them, you can feel it straight away and you can start to get measurable feedback on your own instantly. And two, when you've done it enough, it's quite easy to kind of imagine, I find anyway, imagine there's that physical barrier there on the golf course and you're trying to move it. So let's talk about coming over the top. So first drill, very basic one. When I get to the range, you see Tiger Woods doing this quite a lot. I'll put an alignment stick down on my target line. And it's important to understand that in any shot any normal shot in golf, we don't want the club's center of mass to get outside of the baseline before impact or even after it, because the golf swing is a semicircle into square to in. So if we hit it at different points of that semicircle, we can still keep the club inside this white stick, hit it on the inward part of that, that will create a draw, hit it on the latter part of that, and that will create a fade. We don't need to actually be shifting the mass of the golf club out. So knowing that, we can get an alignment stick down outside the ball, really basic, and just get familiar with making some normal swings. Try not to hit that alignment stick at any point, okay? And if we can do that, we know that we're delivering that golf club at least inside the alignment stick, and we're not throwing it out post-impact or coming outside pre-impact. Number one, secondary drill. Get a big physical barrier. Could be a basket, could be this wedge, it could be anything you want. Head cover, and put it down just on the outside, point it down the target line, and put the ball in front of it if you're someone who comes over the top. Okay, so it's really important to be disciplined with yourself here and get the toe of the club as close to that block as possible. A lot of people, I do this in lesson, they end up drifting this over here. Now that, although it's going to visually be there, it's not going to bother me whatsoever. So I have it in front of the block and I have it as close as possible without hitting it. And again, the same thing applies. Start slowly and just make sure I deliberately toed that one, that I was moving inside it, and I hit that 10 millimeters out of the toe. The last one, and the one that I use the most, is this drill. Either put an alignment stick in the ground, in a basket, or get yourself something like this. Put this down 3 feet behind the ball, and match. I often ask the angle of this shaft. I often stand underneath it and match the angle of the shaft with the address angle of the golf club I've got. Obviously, a wedge or something is going to be steeper, and a driver is going to be shallower. So match this white stick with the alignment, with the shaft angle that you've got, the club you've got. Get it to a point where it's about 3 feet behind you. And the reason it's got to be at least 3 feet behind you is I want you to get to a point where your hands can't reach it. A lot of people get this too close, and then you can end up whacking it with your hands and ripping your hands to pieces. So enough that the club's going to hit it, but the hands are not going to. Get it to a point where the club will naturally work just underneath it. So we're probably looking about here, and if I was to preset, that's perfect. That's not going to miss it. And the aim of the game, if you come over the top, is one, to go back underneath it, and then to stay underneath it on the way down. Even for me there, that felt a bit dodgy, and I caught that a little bit thin. So I'd have to work that in a little bit. And again, we're not looking for good contact here. We're trying to build awareness. So you'll notice with all these shots, I'm hitting them slowly. I'm not trying to hit them hard. A bit better, and you see how I'm just trying to stay underneath that on the way down. That shot will come up if I just get rid of that. Okay, so it's a nice straight shot, and that was a decent swing. So they're the 3 drills that I would probably get you going with first. Have a go at them if you're someone who comes over the top. You're probably going to find you're going to start banging the block down the range, hitting the stick, making a mess, Initially, start really slow. Even if you don't hit a ball, just try and get the movement. Start to understand where the club, the hands, the mass is moving in space. Start at like 2% intensity. Work that intensity up until such time as you can do it relatively full. It's important that you don't do your whole session with a drill. I'm a big fan of whatever amount of balls you give to the drill, you do the equal amount without the drill, so you're not getting to a point where you're obsessed with it. Again, with cameras as well, I'll mention this. If you want to see it's improving, record a couple of swings at the start of the session to see where you are, work on it throughout the session, and then record a couple of swings at the end of the session. Do not be one of them people who record every swing and get obsessed with it. I used to be this guy. You get to a point where you're worrying about too much about where it looks, and you lose the skill and art of actually hitting a golf ball. Anyways, quick video for you. I hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next one.